News One, le tam-tam du continent. News One, le tam-tam du continent.
PM News live on News One. These are the headlines. At a time when President Paul Biya is emphasizing women's empowerment, a tragedy struck in Bakari in the north region of Cameroon as a woman has been brutally killed by her husband over a dispute of just 500 francs. And it will be a busy weekend in Morocco as round 16 matches of the 2025 African Cup of Nations kicks off tomorrow. Cameroon's indomitable lion have an endeavor rendezvous with South Africa's Bafana. That was it for the headlines. The developments and more up next. It's a pleasure meeting you this time again. I am Jackie Nyebele, your news anchor. As announced in the headlines in his December 31st address to the nation, President Paul Biya placed women empowerment at the center of Cameroon's development agenda, reaffirming strong government commitment to gender inclusion and equal opportunities. Micheline Biloa and Lucien Bala for the report.
In his traditional end-of-year address to the nation, the head of state made it clear that improving the situation of women remains one of his top priorities. President Paul Biya announced that concrete measures will be implemented to strengthen women empowerment and guarantee greater participation of women in the management of public affairs. This renewed political will resonates at the local level, where women leaders see it as a turning point for inclusive governance.
The women are expecting to see more representation within this new 7 years of the president's governance. We expect to see more women rise to positions of government. We expect to see more women rise to positions of politics, advance economically, advance socially in all domains within the Republic of Cameroon. We would like to see more women being represented. And I think that the President of the Republic can have confidence in us, the women, because we already master the politics, the national politics and the general politics of the state. With the experience that we have, we can use our experience in leadership to bring about ethics, to bring about improved, measurable outcomes of the operational programs that we are going to develop from the instructions that we receive from the head of state.
President Paul Biya, however, emphasized that gender promotion will go hand in hand with merit and competence. Beyond age and gender considerations, qualifications, integrity and commitment to public service will remain key criteria in access to responsibility and promotion. The president also underlined the need to fight all forms of injustice linked to gender, age, ethnicity, or religion, insisting that empowering women is essential to building a fairer society and unlocking skills that have long been overlooked both at home and within the diaspora.
And at a time when President Paul Biya is emphasizing women's empowerment, a tragedy struck in Bakari in the north region of Cameroon as a woman was brutally killed by her husband over a dispute of just 500 francs. Details with Fabrice Kedinga.
Shock and outrage have gripped Toboro in the Mayore division of Cameroon's north region following the brutal killing of a woman by her husband over a dispute involving just 500 francs CFA. The tragic incident occurred in Bakari village, where the victim reportedly died after receiving a violent kick to the lower abdomen during a domestic altercation. Residents say the couple had argued over money meant to provide food for the family. According to local sources, the man had given his wife 250 francs to take care of the household's daily meals. The woman reportedly protested, insisting that the amount was insufficient and demanded 500 francs CFA instead. What began as a verbal disagreement quickly escalated into a violent confrontation with fatal consequences. Following the incident, the suspect fled the village, triggering a manhunt by security forces. He was arrested 1 week later. During a crime scene reenactment conducted by investigators, the man reportedly confessed to have committed the act. The killing has sparked anger and deep sadness among residents of Bakari village and surrounding communities. Many say the incident reflects the growing pressure faced by families struggling to survive amid extreme poverty in Cameroon's northern regions. Authorities have condemned the act and reiterated calls for peaceful conflict resolution within households. Civil society actors are also urging stronger action against domestic violence and increased social support for vulnerable families. The suspect remains in custody as investigations continue. Meanwhile, the tragedy has reignited national debate on domestic violence and the devastating impact of poverty on family life.
From the north to the littoral region, tears, shock and disbelief engulfed Marché Congo in Douala yesterday, January 1st, as a devastating fire reduced dozens of shops and goods worth millions of francs CFA to ashes. Details with Micheline below.
Tears, shock and disbelief. This was the scene at Marché Congo in Douala on New Year's Day, after a fire gutted several shops at the popular market, reducing goods worth millions of francs CFA to ashes. The fire, which reportedly broke out in the early hours of the morning, spread rapidly through the tightly packed stalls, leaving traders helpless as their merchandise was destroyed. Many say they lost their entire investments built over years of hard work. Elements of the army, rescue alongside other security forces, were deployed to the scene to help salvage the situation. Their intervention helped secure the area, prevent looting, and assist in controlling the aftermath of the blaze, as firefighters work to stop it from spreading further. Authorities have not yet officially established the cause of the fire, but preliminary reports point to a possible electrical fault. Investigations have been opened to determine the exact circumstances surrounding the incident. Affected traders are appealing to the government and goodwill organizations for assistance to help them recover from the losses. Local authorities say an assessment of the damage is underway as discussions continue on possible relief measures. Marché Congo is located in Bonanjo, the administrative and business center of Douala, in the Douala 1 subdivision in the littoral region of Cameroon.
And in a powerful call to preserve the soul of his community, the Fund of Bellingham, His Royal Highness Samkia Elvis II urged his people to embrace respect, love, peace, and unity. Values, he says, have been the driving force behind the village resilience, growth, and enduring strength. He was speaking during the annual Leila Festival in Santa Subdivision, and details with Fabrice Kedinga.
The Fund of Bellingham, His Royal Highness Samkia Elvis II, has urged members of his community to remain committed to the values of respect, love, peace, and unity, which he described as the foundation of the village's growth and development. The traditional ruler made the call during the celebration of the annual cultural festival known as Leila, held in Bellingham, Santa Subdivision. According to the fund, these virtues have helped the community withstand challenges and foster social cohesion despite prevailing difficulties. The festival brought together sons and daughters of Bellingham from within and without the village, alongside traditional authorities, guests in a colorful display of culture and identity. A major highlight of the event was a vibrant performance by the youth of the village. Through traditional dances and coordinated display, the young people showcased their strength, resilience, and determination in the face of adversity, drawing admiration from the audience. Fund Samkia Elvis II encouraged the youth to remain disciplined and actively contribute to the development of the community, while calling on elders to continue guiding younger generations with wisdom and tolerance.
Whether it was good, where the funds has gone wrong, where the notables have gone wrong, we see them, and that's why you continue to see peace in Bellingham. Denounce stealing, denounced disrespect of authority, And that's why you see any subject of Balian, wherever you see him, he always have respect for himself and his elders, and more especially state institutions.
Participants described the Lela Festival as an important platform for strengthening unity, preserving cultural heritage, and reinforcing community values. Traditional authorities say the annual Lela Festival will continue to serve as a rallying point of peace, unity and development in Baligam and the wider Santa subdivision.
And also, Burns Construction Company has donated over 700 safety helmets and 4 cash of 2,000 francs each to commercial bike riders in Bamenda, chief town of the Northwest region. The donation took place on Tuesday, December 31st at the Metropolitan Cathedral of Bamenda. Details.
Burns Construction Company has donated over 700 safety helmets and 4 cash of 2,000 francs each to commercial motorbike riders in Bamenda in the Northwest region. The donation ceremony took place on Tuesday, December 31, 2025 at the Metropolitan Archdiocese of Bamenda, bringing together bike riders unions, local authorities, and representatives of the company. Officials of Burns Construction say the initiative is part of the company's corporate social responsibility aimed at improving road safety and reducing the risks faced daily by commercial motorbike riders, popularly known as Okada riders. Speaking during the event, company representatives emphasized that the use of protective helmets remains one of the most effective ways of preventing fatal head injuries in road accidents, especially in urban centers like Bamenda, where bike transport remains a major means of mobility. In addition to the helmet, each beneficiary received 2,000 francs CFA as fuel support, a gesture welcomed by bike riders amidst rising transportation costs and economic hardship. The distribution was carried out by the Archbishop of Bamenda, Andrew Nkea.
Okada people not be any kind of people. When they talk say one cocoa, it is spoiled fufu. But if we get one cocoa, part for fufu, it's still fine that so. That means say not be all Okada people na bad people. And we will not just take one man, we condemn everybody. So for this Okada walk, now walk way get dignity. We're missing a walkway, any man they do and fine and they do and for way, it will help the family.
Leaders of the Bike Riders Association praised Burns Construction for what they describe as a timely and life-saving intervention, while urging riders to make proper use of the helmets and respect traffic regulations. Some beneficiaries expressed gratitude, saying the donation will not only protect lives but also reduce daily financial pressure. Road safety stakeholders say such public-private initiatives play a crucial role in reducing accidents and promoting safer transport practices in Bamenda and beyond.
From Bamenda to Bertois, surrounded by municipal officials, guests and partners, the mayor of Bertois led a solemn collective listening session of the head of state's address, a message he hailed as one filled with hope for the city's future. In a room filled with solemnity and anticipation, the mayor of the city of Bertois, surrounded by his closest collaborators, municipal officials, guests and partners, attentively follows the head of state's annual address to the nation. The gathering, organized at the town hall, brought together various stakeholders of the city who wished to collectively experience this important national moment. The atmosphere was both festive and studious, blending the seriousness of the presidential speech with the warmth of year-end celebrations. At the end of the address, the city's chief magistrate shared his impressions, expressing deep appreciation for a message he described as reassuring and full of promise. According to him, the president's words chart a clear path for development, stability, and renewed opportunity, particularly for cities like Bertois, which continue to play a strategic role in the eastern region. Taking this solemn moment as an opportunity to strengthen community spirit, the mayor also extended his heartfelt wishes to all the people of Bertois. He encouraged them to embrace unity, resilience, and collective efforts as pillars for progress in the new year. The mayor reaffirmed the commitment of the city council to pursue major development projects, improve public services, and foster social cohesion, and the officials remarked The evening transitioned into a more convivial atmosphere. Participants gathered to watch the much-anticipated Cameroon vs Mozambique football match, creating moments of joy and shared excitement. This collective viewing serves as prelude to the New Year's Eve festivities as the city prepared to welcome the night of the crossing, a symbolic moment of renewal celebrated throughout the country. Beyond our borders, President Brice Oligui Nguema has reshuffled the government, appointing the new vice president in Gabon. Elsewhere, Captain Ibrahim Traoré says Burkina Faso has reached food self-sufficiency, citing major investment in agriculture despite regional pressures and sanctions.
In Gabon, President Brice Oligui Nguema has unveiled a major government reshuffle as he consolidates control in the post-transition era. The reorganization includes the appointment of Herman Imongol, former interior minister, as vice president of the government, who will coordinate executive action under the new constitution. At the same time, Hugues Alexandre Barrot Chambrier has been named vice president of the republic, replacing Séraphin Mundunga in the country's second highest office. The 31-member cabinet aims to tackle key priorities such as security, economic recovery, and public services as Gabon enters a new political phase. In Burkina Faso, President Captain Ibrahim Traoré says the country has achieved food self-sufficiency in 2025, a milestone he attributes to aggressive agricultural reforms, expanded mechanization, and improved seed distribution. In his New Year's address, Traoré also highlighted security gains against armed groups under Operation La Masga and stressed plans to deepen land development, irrigation, and rural infrastructure in 2026. The government maintains this progress, underscores its resilience and sovereign path despite regional pressures and sanctions. In Gaza, international aid and human rights groups are warning of disastrous consequences after authorities suspended several NGOs operating in the territory. Humanitarian workers say the move threatens critical services, including medical care, food distribution, and shelter for displaced civilians amid ongoing conflicts. They argue that the restrictions on assistance will intensify suffering, particularly among women and children, and call on global partners to intervene to safeguard humanitarian access and prevent a deepening crisis.
In our sports page tonight, Africa's finest prepare for the knockout drama as the 2025 African Cup of Nations entered its most unforgiving phase with the group stage behind them. Only the strongest, the smartest, and the most determined sides will survive the round of 16, and every match promises high stakes, fierce rivalries, and unforgettable moments on Morocco grand stages. The knockout stages on the way this weekend. Details.
As the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco enters the knockout phase, football fans across the continent are gearing up for an exciting round of 16, with 8 high-stakes matches set to determine the quarter-finalists. The fixtures were confirmed following a dramatic conclusion to the group stage, with the 2 top teams from each group and the 4 best third-place sides qualifying for the next round. The action gets underway this Saturday, January 3, when Senegal take on Sudan at the Grand Stade de Tangier in what promises to be a tough test for the Lions of Teranga. Later that day, Mali will lock on to Tunisia at the Stade Mohammed V in Casablanca, as both sides aim to assert their credentials early in the knockout stages. On Sunday, January 4, host Morocco will face Tanzania at the Stade Prince Moulay Abdallah in Rabat, buoyed by home support in their bid to go deep in the tournament. That evening, South Africa meet Cameroon in Rabat in a clash that rekindles rivalry, with both teams eager to progress to the quarterfinals. The drama continues on Monday, January 5, when African football giants Egypt take on Benin at the Grand Stade de Aguilera, followed by Nigeria facing Mozambique at the Complexe Sportif de Fils in a match that pits season campaigners against surprise contenders. The final 2 round of 16 matches are scheduled for Tuesday, January 6, when Algeria clash with the Democratic Republic of Congo in Rabat, and defending champions Côte d'Ivoire tackle Burkina Faso at the Grand Stade de Marrakech. These matchups round out a knockout bracket that promises drama, upsets and memorable moments. All eyes will then be turned to the quarterfinals on January 9 and 10, with hopes high among fans and pundits alike as the continent's elite vie for a place in the semi-finals and a shot at lifting Africa's most prestigious football trophy. The final is set for January 18, 2026 in Rabat, Morocco.
And this is the end.